Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective, super special episode here with the man himself, Mr. Caden Stearns, and my brother as always, Mr. Jonathan Tran. I don't know at the time of this recording if we're at 10,000 subscribers. If we are, thank you. This is the gift that signing adds up. If not, and if we are, if not, hit the subscribe button. Really helps grow this platform, grow this channel. We are fellow fans who are, and Caden's now a Texas fan, that's now moved on to the NFL. So we're going to have a conversation as fans, but it means a lot to me to have this event, not just here, but another fan, Mr. Michael Eisenhower. And we are here at Eisenhower's already, my opinion, the best bar in Austin. Honestly, one of my favorite places in all of Austin, my second home. So thank you, Mr. Eisenhower, for allowing us to record this in this space. Caden, welcome, brother.
Hey man, appreciate you for having me. Glad to be here. Been wanting to do something like this, so here we are.
Absolutely, man. We connected on Twitter.
Exactly.
You sent out the bat signal, and you were like, I'm ready to talk life and ball.
Yeah.
And our wonderful fans out there on Twitter, by the way, follow us on Twitter, almost at 2,000 followers. But they were blowing you up in the comments, and I came into the DMs. I was like, brother, when are we gonna connect?
Yeah.
And a few seconds later, you hit me back in, 72 hours, Trey?
Yeah, it was fast. It was like
72 hours. Here we are,
Yeah.
linking up in Austin here at Eisenhower. So, just to get things started off, bro, you're a professional athlete now.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that.
Congratulations on getting drafted. I feel like I'm out of place here because you two are like 2-1-0 San Antonio boys. I just want to get into what's it been like since you've been drafted. You're getting ready to report, I think, on the 23rd, and just go through that process.
Yeah, man, it's been kind of surreal, now that I've been there, just being incorporated into the culture and learning the defense and stuff like that. It's been really cool. I got great vets in front of me.
Sure.
That teach me. I got great coaching staff. So, just trying to make my way up and do what I can. So, it's definitely a blessing. I've been home for like a month now, just spending time with the family and just working out, just getting my body right. So, excited.
Absolutely, brother.
So, you're going to a murderer's row for the AFC West quarterbacks. You excited?
I am excited. I am very excited. Like you said, it's Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr. And then you just got the receiving core on top of that. And
on top of that,
on every team. But that's what I live for, Nothing I shied away from. I went to the Big 12. It's spread offense, a lot of passing, a lot of being in space. So I'm used to it. So let's make it happen. So I love competition and the competitiveness in that division. It's going to be a pretty good year this year.
Speaking of competition, I want to back up because I think you're going there with PJ, right? And PJ happened to be there when you got the phone call.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful, and I was so happy for you. And I noticed you brothers were wearing some T-shirts.
Yeah. You
had the Doughboy from Boys in the Hood, and PJ was rocking the Pulp Fiction. Aren't you like 21?
I am 21.
So you guys getting that 90s nostalgia. What's that about? What's that connection with PJ and y'all were just...
Those are on VHS. You even know what VHS is?
I do.
I do.
A little bit. I'm ingrained into it. I watched a couple movies that way, but really, I just thought the shirt was hard. Not that I don't know what Boys in the Hood is.
Sure.
If you don't know
for the culture.
For the culture, for sure. If you don't know what Boys in the Hood is, then you need to go watch the movie ASAP. But yeah, the shirt went hard. I think I got it at like Shoe Palace or something like that. I don't know where he got his shirt at, but I gotta give a little, shout out to the 90s. So.
Absolutely. But moving over to the ball side, so you have a big bro over there right now, and somebody you really look up to and are close with. But you guys drafted the brother from Indiana, right? You drafted PS2. You guys already, the Kyle Fuller signing, and what was the other cat? Ronald Darby, right? And that whole defensive group, and then we got Big Chubb, we got Von Miller coming back, like. You guys are clearly souping up to deal with, like he said, the Mahomeses and the Tyreek Hills and the Travis Kelce, or however he says his last name now, since he apparently changed his league, and Justin Herbert and what they got going on, man. How do you correlate that to your experience in the Big 12 and go a little bit more in depth there? Because I feel like, you know, Mahomes is a Big 12 dude, right? And I know he predates you, but the dynamic ability of all these quarterbacks and having to defend those guys.
Yeah, so, I mean, just coming from the Big 12 in general, a lot of these offensive coordinators are NFL mind type guys. You know, you see Cliff Kingsbury, he went to
Arizona,
head coach for the Cardinals, and you got Matt Rule, who's the head coach for the Panthers. So that mindset has always been in the league, and to be honest, you got Coach Gundy, who's probably another guru, or you consider his offense has always been high powered. So just kind of being ingrained and being used to that every week and seeing it every week. We got TCU as well, that these are teams that, you know, this type of offense was not maybe being frowned upon, but like, oh, that's not true football, or something like that. There's no defense being played, which now you're starting to see that type of offense everywhere, right? So, I mean, you can kind of say, like in the SEC, is getting into the SEC and the teams that are doing well, like Bama and LSU, it was very
That's just good offense now.
Exactly. Right? Not to say they didn't have, obviously, they have all the talent in the world, those two teams, but, you know, that type of offense is just being played everywhere. So, you know, the Chiefs is phenomenal at doing it, so kind of used to it. So, like, I say that's the biggest thing that I'm used to seeing every day versus, you know, somebody who's played in the Big Ten, when you see more of a running style offense, unless it's Ohio State.
Right.
You're not seeing that.
They don't spin it like that every single
Yeah,
week.
exactly.
They don't. I mean, that's just the reality. And I know when you and I and Tran, we were all talking before, you kind of brought up like guys you're working out with, and some of the conversations that you have with people that played in other conferences, and the perception. And it's funny, we laugh because the perception is so similar to the perceptions that fans have, you know, about the Big 12. It's not that the Big 12 has elite offense, it's that we don't play defense. Mm-hmm. So talk to me about that, and just, you know, what guys are saying kind of.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's just like the Big 12 plays no defense. And I'm just like, man, what are you talking about? Like, it's not that there's no defense being played. It's just the Big 12 would just play at a faster pace. You know, it's either you're scoring down the field fast or it's a quick 3 and out. Like, there's no really much in between that.
Sure.
So, the amount of times the offense on both teams are getting possession and stuff, like, there's bound to be yards put up in that type of play style. There's so much space, right? So, like, because if that was the case, I mean, we played LSU, right, and we put up points on them. They put up points on us. We played Georgia. You know what I mean? And Oklahoma just played Florida, put up 63 on them. So, not to say that I'm a conference guy, like Big 12. That's not who I am. It's just my team. I just, you know, just don't like the disrespect that the Big 12 is sometimes in the type of ball that we play, because, you know, there's a lot of good teams that I feel like, I mean, I feel like we could compete with every team.
So I don't know if you get this, but I've gotten this that, you know, well, it's just a different type of athlete in the SEC. No. And it's who are you committed to before Texas?
I was committed to LSU.
Everyone on our defense
had offers
from SEC. Like, so they were obviously good enough to play in the SEC. So yeah, stop it. It's
exactly. I just you know, it's just different type of style that you get into, right? But yeah, like, I don't see that. Like, I felt like if I would have went to the SEC, I would have been perfectly okay. I know that my teammates would have been perfectly okay. It just came down more to, you know, being developed and stuff like that became an issue. But, you know, I mean, you've seen guys in the Big 12, right? Like, for another San Antonio dude, Trayvon Moore, he's from San Antonio, played at TCU. They put DBs in the league. TCU is known for putting some DBs in the league. So, you know, I'm not really all into that conference talk. So yeah.
It's interesting too that you bring up like the reputation that certain schools carry, because right now there's kind of a stigma, I feel like, put on Texas about the draft thing and us not having first round picks and whatnot, and you know, what positions, and other schools kind of get that pass. But recently, and I feel like you're going to be one of the next one of these guys, I'm speaking that into existence for you.
Like that.
Guys like, you know, Charles, who were underdrafted, right? Puna, Quandre. Puna wasn't even drafted, right? And God bless Puna, he just got paid. You know, who like, The number is crazy.
Deshaun
Elliott, right? So
even Brandon, I think, was underdrafted.
Brandon went, I think, 71st to the
Third,
Dolphins, third round, right?
round.
But still, like, Brandon comes out there, and people in Miami seem to be
Where did
surprised.
this guy come from?
They're like, where's his, it's like, dude, this guy was like 5-star safety coming out. Like, he's not, he's good. You know what I mean? So that perception, is that a real thing, or is that being made up by us as fans? Of, you know, what do you think?
I would say, like, you know, it's just there's multiple things that go into account, right? Like,
Sure.
that happens, and to me, it's the kid comes out of high school, obviously talented, he has what it takes, right? But there's other steps that need to be taken for this kid to fulfill and reach the potential or maximize his ability, right? And that's development. That's obviously where he's been fit into, but more so development. Like, and you know, I'm not gonna say that it wasn't much development at Texas, but there was a halt now. But I think with the new coaching staff, like, you're gonna see the guys that are highly recruited out of high school, you know, like a Bijan Robinson. Like, you know, that's a once in a lifetime back. I've seen him do some crazy things, you know.
Yeah.
And that's just not him. Like, the whole team is filled with guys like that. It's just that, you know, it's not being developed or whatever the case may be. So, I don't think it's a perception. I think now you'll start seeing
it.
You're going to start seeing first round.
It's more of a showcasing issue.
Yeah, just showcasing it, you know, and just being, you know, again, development. Like, it's a huge thing, and, you know, there's a lot of things that can take into play, right? Like, if the kid wants to be developed as well, but
Sure. Gotta meet me halfway.
yeah, it's a 50-50 type thing, you know.
Put in the work.
Yeah, gotta put in the work. Always gotta put in the work. So, I think it's kind of made up though too, because like you said, like, you're seeing guys from Texas obviously get to the league, regardless of where they went in the draft and perform. So, the talent's there. Like, that's never been an issue. So.
For you individually, I think the turnover, and this is something Tran and I were talking about last night, I think the turnover turns into a positive for you in a weird way, because you played for two different defensive staffs. You were there for 3 years, playing through injuries, playing through scheme changes. I saw you play in the nickel. I saw you play single high. I saw you play the boundary. I saw you play field. Like, all over the place. How does that help you moving forward into the NFL?
Yeah, it's just more versatility. So when you turn on the tape, right, and you go through it and be like, okay, well, I can go play nickel if need be. Obviously, I'm not going to go play nickel. That's not. But it adds to my versatility, and as well, more understanding to the defense is more than anything. So, like, I feel like my IQ is top. Not going to say top notch. I always learn better, but it's at a level that I'm starting to understand football more, because I can tell you what everybody's doing and understanding how the offense is trying to attack, things like that. So being put in these different positions, it also gives me perspective of what that guy's going through. Like, when the corner is all alone on a one-on-one island, I'm like, okay, I know what you're going through, because I kind of, not necessarily been on the outside like that, but also had to lock somebody up one-on-one in the slot. So you're doing different things. So it gives you just perspective of what, like, all the pieces and how it's put together. And again, it just allows you to do so much more. So, and again, like, it shows, like, I had two different defensive coordinators. So learning how they coach and what they learn, and do two different type of knowledges that they had, I just soak it all in, and it just helps me a lot more. So it's definitely a blessing for playing in two different staffs like that.
All right. A lot of stuff has been a blessing for you. You have a very big family.
Yeah.
A brother who's played in the NFL. I'm sure he's giving you helpful hints and tips, transitioning. But you also have two, are they younger brothers?
Oh, so one's older, one's younger.
Okay. That kind of got us pissed off at Texas, to tell you the truth, because the week before they
blew up Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
Yeah.
We had to play triple overtime against Texas Tech.
It'll be very honest with you, Caden. Jareth and Josh pissed us off, because when they were at HBU, they blew up Tech the week before, and should have probably got the dub. Like they had an opportunity, and God bless
They
those.
balled out.
God bless your brothers there at Western Kentucky now.
Yeah, Western
Are they happy over there?
Yeah, they love it.
They love it. Great. We're excited for you guys to have an amazing season. We're thinking. Oh,
go
wow.
ahead.
It's over.
No,
You can go back and watch that video.
Yeah.
So, but that's not the question. And Tran, I'm sorry, but it was more so just Tran. He and his brother
My
played
brother
college
played for Texas. He went kind of like your brother's route, where he played at D3 and then transitioned, walked on to UT and gained a scholarship.
Yeah.
Me, I wasn't even looked at by UT or anything like that. East Coast kids weren't looked at, so I played for some college called Hofstra University.
Yeah.
And my brother and I, we didn't get along.
Yeah.
Like it seems like you and your brothers are really close, and what are you doing to pass along the knowledge that you gained from Texas, and also going through the draft process to your brothers?
Just really understanding the business side, because football to me, regardless of what level it's played at, it's still football. Not division or anything like that. Like you see a lot of guys that be like in the draft, like he played where he play at, go second round, like first round, because none of that matters no more. Really at that point in time. So, and I've seen them, growing up, played against them, like one-on-ones, all type of stuff, and they routed me up, like so I know they have what it takes. So just more so like. Just always play to your advantage. Like, one of them, or Jared, he's possession. He's more, he's explosive as well, but he's consistent versus Josh, my younger brother. He's going to blow the roof off of him, which he did against Tech. Yeah. And average like 30 yards per reception. Like,
it was wild.
Stuff like that. So, just always use that, and, they already know just from the fact that my older brother Jordan played in the league. We all just talked about it and compete. So they already know everything that I know they share, and vice versa. I'm playing receiver, me playing DB. We kind of just share the knowledge of what I'm looking at versus what they looking at, versus if I'm inside leverage, outside leverage, what they trying to do, yada yada. So.
So is he a Broncos fan now instead of KC fan?
My brother, man, he a fan of me, so he's always going to ride to where I ride. Like me, when he went to Oklahoma State, to be honest, I wasn't messing with Texas at all. I was mad. I was like, man, you should be in Texas right now or whatever. So, I ride for him, he ride for me, wherever that is. So
that's love, man. I mean, so I wanted 2 more NFL things before we kind of transition. Are they letting you rock number 30 on the Broncos? You getting the rock TDs number?
So I had to do a little bit of research about that, because they sent me the thing, like, what number do you want? So there's some numbers, like, 40s or something like that. I'm like, nah.
40s.
And there's 30s. So I'm like, I'm a huge Steph Curry fan. So
okay.
I'm like, 30 for sure. And then I got there, everybody's talking about, why is he wearing that? I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, I ain't even do nothing but just pick the number. I ain't trying to step on nobody's toes. I ain't doing nothing.
I wasn't even born.
I wasn't born, nothing. So I did a little research, and I was like, okay, he's like that. So it's a big number, whatever, but, eventually, we'll see if I change or not, just depending on whatever. But it's a good number. Now I know what it means there. But I just remember it was like, why is he wearing? I'm like, whoa, what did I do? But they let me wear it. So
cool.
I'm gonna take
embrace
care
it.
As long as I'm gonna embrace it, I'm gonna try to take care of it as much as I can.
He started out because he came from Georgia and he was a 6th-round pick. He started out. He made his name on special teams.
Yeah,
he made his name on special teams, and injuries and situations happen, and he turned into the Terrell Davis that we know today. But that's an incredible opportunity. I mean. I'm just giving you a hard time because I was like, I know the brother can't rock 7. You know what I'm saying?
They are. If they tripping about 30, they definitely.
They gonna just right. So the other thing that we wanted to know was how are you preparing your body, or what you've learned from being banged up? The injury history.
Yeah.
We know that there's a concern there, and we want to make sure you're good. You're going into a league. What are they playing? 17
games.
17 games.
Yeah.
What's your perspective there? What are you doing to take care of your body, and what have you learned throughout that process?
Yeah, so, it's been kind of like in high school, I was just like a workhorse. Like I didn't know, I didn't understand the rest. I thought if I was resting, like I thought I was.
You were being lazy.
Yeah, and so it kind of bit me because I had like a whole bunch of overuse injuries, and you know, I graduated early, went to Texas right after the playoffs of my senior year. So I was like, man, I'm still kind of hurting from this right here already. But anyways, you know, just that whole learning process at Texas, you know, taking care of my body, it's just like, it's the little things really. It's the, you know, the stretching, the mobility, right? And just putting yourself kind of like in you're stretching in situations that like may be awkward, because you're going to land awkwardly in football, or you're going to take a hit, right? So you want to build that armor up to an extent, right? So just a balance between all those things, and knowing and just listening to my body. Like if it's one day I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling too well, like, and I got a hard workout, it's like, okay, well, the typical mind says, all right, I'm gonna strain through this, right? Okay, well, might not want to do that, so let's try to, you know, work around that, reschedule, you know, do something around that, do a little cardio. Just really listening to your body, and your diet also is very important, right? So those two things right there alone, you know, and I do a lot of mobility because I need to, you know. So like everything really is connected. Just the amount of people I talk to, like your toe hurts, something, your right shoulder may be hurting from it. It's just all connected in weird different ways. So just staying on top of that, and you know, every day I get done at practice, go get in the cold tub. As bad as it sucks, I hate it still.
Oh,
but
I don't miss the cold tub.
Yeah, it's not pleasant, but afterwards, cryo chamber, contrast bath, getting needles all the time.
Dry needle?
Yeah, it hurts, but you feel 10 times better afterwards, you know. Even some of the stretching stuff, like you try to get in and I'll be like, man, this is not, I don't know if I can do this, but it all works out, and it's all for your benefit if you want to last in the league for a long time.
Sure. It's tough, man.
Yeah, really tough.
So, Texas, you know, you were a captain. You know, you did so much on and off the field. And Tran and I, first off, saying thank you for what you did. Us as fans, you know, we go to a lot of games. We try to support you guys and try to get you that energy whenever y'all were at DKR and newly Williams Campbell Field.
Yeah.
And it was so cool to see you develop coming from Steel, and watching you take over. I remember the buzz about you freshman year, early, as you said, you're early enrollee. Just your experiences at Texas, man.
Yeah.
You know, what when you look back, how do you know, just general outlook on your career, and then we can kind of dive in from there.
It was a roller coaster ride for me, right? So like, I done been through a lot, honestly, and it's a lot of learning experience. But I look back as my career on the field, right? More, I felt personally that I underachieved for myself, and not because everybody else is saying that, just because I know I never reached the potential, or the I won't say potential, but the ability that I know I'm capable of reaching. Again, to numerous things that, really honestly, that's probably out of my control when it comes to injuries and stuff like that. So, but I learned from it, right? I learned how to take care of my body. I learned how to deal with, you know, some of the backlash that I got from the outside people or whatever, stuff like that. So, really, I just look at it, you know, it's nothing negative. I just say it's a learning experience, you know, and at the same time, I gained relationships with my teammates, right?
Right.
You will never get back. That these are people that I'll probably talk to for the rest of my life and develop with, as well as some of the coaches that are still there or that are left now that I feel like I could talk to. But when I do look back, though, I definitely think, you know, it's kind of like a sour taste. Like, damn, I should have been better than what I was. But, you know, I just felt like it was time for me to move on and then continue on and do stuff. So that's exactly what I did.
The blessing continues, though, because you have an opportunity to be, there's so many guys that I hear that from, but you have an opportunity to be an even better football player
Exactly.
down the road. Like, you know, there's to say, you know, I mean, because that's ultimately the end goal, is you want to hit your peak and your prime at the right point. But I appreciate your candidness, man, and just being open about it, Trent.
Yeah, I know you're just doing that from an athlete perspective, that you could always be better, but I saw how good you could be. just your freshman year, I was in awe of how your range. 50 pounds ago, I was a defensive back. I was not as rangy as you. There's one player watching the Tulsa game where he's 3/4 of the way across the field, where he read the quarterback scrambling out, got to the sideline, beat it to the ball, and got his foot. And to me, I was just like, this kid's special. And no offense, I'm calling you a kid or anything.
No.
If you're young enough to be my son, you're. Dealing with injury, and watching old interviews, you even just prepping for this, you hardly brought up injuries.
Yeah.
You didn't want to talk about that. You didn't want to hear that noise, and you could tell the difference.
Yeah.
You could tell the difference, and for you to power through most of those games, that's impressive. Anyone who gives you crap about that, try guarding the wide receivers in the Big 12. Just try.
Yeah, I'm lining up with a toe issue, and I'm lining up against Hollywood Brown.
The toe issue had me weak because it was like some things, I don't even know. Like, I hadn't played or whatever, I had turf toe this year. And it's one of those things, like, before I even knew what turf toe was, it was like, your toe hurts? Like, really? Like, that's what's keeping you out?
You can't cut.
But you get it, yeah.
You can't cut.
And it's like, I'm basically playing on the whole outside of my foot because of it type thing. So, I don't remember what game did I do. It was TCU, right? Or it was TCU early on. They did like in the first quarter or something like that. But, continue to play through that. But, yeah, it's just like stuff like that, I mean, I'm blessed that I had nothing that was like serious.
Sure.
Surgery or anything like that, but just nagging lingering issues that.
Yeah, because some of the other brothers that you play with at Texas had very serious, surgeries and 6-month recovery and all this type of stuff. So you're right there, but when you have a toe issue and somebody like a Hollywood Brown or CeeDee Lamb's in the slot, it's a two-way go.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Even at 100%, it's gonna be hard to go.
Yeah, right. It's a lot.
That's part of the game, though. Like, I'm never gonna, take away or try to say, injury is the reason why or anything. Because if I'm out there on the field, the reason why I'm out there on the field in general is because I feel like, I'm gonna be out there for my team regardless. Besides all the backlash I got for leaving early, which is a whole nother.
We can get in. So I want to get into. We'll get into that. But the first thing I wanted to ask you about, you're a team captain.
Yeah.
And that to me is a badge of honor you can carry for the rest of your life.
Yep.
To be voted on by your teammates and to see the type of person you were and how you developed under Brandon Jones, and then you kind of took over and took everybody under. Yeah. You were a team captain in a very turbulent time, and we'll get into that later too. But what did that mean to you? Just being a captain and leading that
that's
room,
one thing.
leading the team.
Yeah, that's probably like the biggest achievement or accomplishment I could have because I'm more like, I feel like I would say more so like for my teammates, they would say that regardless on the field or off the field, they can come to me for anything and I always have it back, like we're general. So, and that's what the team captain for us was voted about. It was for the players, right? So, that's one of the things that I always be thankful for is that they looked at me as somebody who, led by example or led the right way when it came to, certain issues or just always having their back. So I always appreciate that they looked at me as a captain for sure.
So on the field, the landscape of the Big 12, I know we touched on it kind of earlier with the NFL stuff, but all the gurus you guys had to face, the players you faced. I think we what did we have it at, Tran? Number 1 overall pick. He faced 2. He faced Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow.
Possibly 3 if Rattler.
Yeah, depending on what happens with Rattler. OU's who we're trying to dethrone. 6 straight Big 12 titles. They're trying to go for their 7th. And you had some really interesting things in terms of like how they attack you guys and things that you just observed while you were there.
Yeah, and it's, they are just really good at getting the best players involved. And, some way, some form of fashion, like, okay, if I'm lining up, I know that CeeDee Lamb is their go-to guy, but they're going to get something over here that's getting my eyes over here, or something that goes against my rules in this certain coverage to to make him break free and get loose. So, and that's what you see like in the league, or you see in general with these good teams, is they're gonna find some type of way to get their best player the ball, because that's the best chance of winning. So, Oklahoma State, they got the ball to Tyler Wallace. Like, that's the best chance of winning. That's how you're gonna do it. So, it was just always fun to go against them, because it's like, okay, now, like, especially my freshman year when we played them twice. It was like, okay, like, they already know they're gonna come up with something out of their sleeve. Like, for instance, my freshman year, I think there's a motion that he motioned across, right? I had to take him, man. Should have had my eyes on him, but I see Kyler Murray running like this towards me. So I'm like, this is Kyler Murray. This is not space. Like, if I don't come up, then he's gone potentially. And then he stops, throws it over my head. I'm like, oh my! So you just do a lot of things that, that
it's like pick your poison.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to make this.
Pick your poison. So it's really against those type of teams, though, you really got to stay disciplined and know what you're going against, and again, always just be aware of where the key players is at, and that's where the ball's gonna take you.
It's a chess match, dude, because you're talking about your responsibilities in quarters, and you know it well, and you know what the play is, but they know what your responsibility.
Yeah, they know what my responsibility
and
is,
they're
too.
putting you in conflict.
In the bind, yep.
Right? And you have to make a decision. and ultimately it comes down to instincts.
Yeah.
And that was one thing for me if you go and look at, I don't know if you read any of this stuff, like, oh, this is like his scouting report or his draft profile, but they talked about like instincts and questioning. I'm like, I actually think he's very good instinctively. Like the things that he knocks on himself, I agree with, angles, tackling, things of that sort. But like instinctively, I felt like if he could jump a route, like he was really good. Yeah, you saw that with Sean Robinson at TCU.
Yeah.
I mean, that brother was in conflict, right?
Yeah. I know what I'm capable of, and I know that that's one of my strong suits is instincts. I know, and I'm gonna trust it 100%.
Sure.
There's times where I should have trusted it more, on the field. But yeah, like I felt like I definitely have instincts, just from the fact that the instinct to change a certain coverage if I felt like there was something that they were gonna run that could potentially give us problems in that. So, and that coach gave us leeway with that. So, I know exactly. My weaknesses were open field. Like I took some pretty piss poor angles. So, that's constantly something I'm working on.
Absolutely.
Not to make excuses, but did the injury have anything to do with it? Injuries?
Kinda. It just, in terms of on the point of contact of making a tackle, I'll say kinda just from the not as explosive, not as whatever, but in terms of just angles though, that's just me, either overestimating, thinking he's faster than what he is, always cutting back. There's so many things to it. It's really open field tackling is probably one of the hardest things to do.
100%.
Absolutely. Especially
now.
today.
It's now man, there's so many athletes on the offensive side of the ball, but unfortunately it's part of the game. So you got.
I think your tackling really improved throughout, and if you look at the numbers, by the time you left, especially coming downhill, your run fits were better. I did see a lot.
I'll probably say, and I would agree, it's just probably more inconsistent with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's times where, oh man, you tackle extremely well, and then there'll be times at least with me, I'd be like, what am I doing? Why am I taking that angle? What am I doing here? This is piss poor. So, and that's why, nobody will ever get onto me or be hard on me as much as I'm hard on myself, because I already know.
That's what I love about you.
Yeah, I already know what I did wrong typically.
That's what I love about you.
95% of the time, and then whatever my coach is telling me, I'm gonna listen and understand as well. So,
you kids, that's why he's in the league.
So
my favorite play, because I know Tran mentioned his favorite play earlier was the Tulsa interception. My favorite play was on special teams, because I think it changed our season.
Yeah.
Was that block field goal?
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be something right off the bat you can hang your hat on in the league, because I always look at guys like, who's going to be a core special teamer? And I think that's something you bring to the table when a team's looking to draft you. That's when I think of Caden Stearns, I think of the block field goal against USC because to me that momentum and that belief, like y'all went on this crazy run after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what is a signature play or a moment or just, of your Texas career you look back on and you're like, man, that's the first thing that pops up for you?
I mean, just in general, I'll say just my whole freshman year. I really don't have a particular play because I feel like all those plays were honestly key moments that helped us obviously win or do something like that. But, that block was probably a pretty special moment just because, it does show how I can affect the game on special teams, right, and in a pivotal moment like that. So,
They handed Will or buy you lunch at dinner after that.
Will's got a TD.
I took your TD from him because
I honestly was so tired. I was like, man, as long as somebody picks it up and scores, I'm
right. Scoop and score.
Perfectly okay with it. But there's a lot of plays that it just reminds me. Not even that I made or that I just being a part of it was special. So. My whole freshman season was pretty fun and special, just being around those guys like B. Jones, PJ, Chris Boyd, just being around them just really was the best part about it all.
Bruh, so you're a fan now of the team. You're a fan now, and it's like, all right, but you're a fan with certain insight and feedback from the team where it's like, who are the next ones up? Because we're going to be covering the team this year as we always do. Make sure you subscribe. But who are the people out? We know Bijan, right? We know that's a given.
Yeah.
But like the quarterbacks, like I'm sure you practice against Hudson Card, you practice against Casey Thompson. Your perspective there, your perspective on whether it's Jaren or some other guys that may not get the publicity or some of that spotlight that you think have a chance to make some noise this year.
Just me being biased, I just think there's so much talent on the team that is just ready to erupt that I'm excited. So I mean, you got T Sweat, you got Snacks. Just to start off on the D line,
He gave the big people some love.
Yeah, you got Demo, who is a killer. He's always been a killer. Josh Thompson, that's my best friend. He's ready to explode. Always been extremely athletic. I don't think there's nobody more athletic than Josh, honestly.
Really?
He's athletic. You got Shark. There's just so much talent, like with Jaren, man, I love Jaren. Just the energy he brings every day. He came in young. He brings in a lot of.
He reminds me of you.
Yeah, he's that's little bro, man. They call him Bug, or we call him Bug, but he brings a lot of energy and just he has a high motor, and you can never. It's always playing against somebody hard that has a high motor, like Joel Tsai. Like Joel Tsai had a high motor, never stopped. On the offensive side of the ball, the two quarterbacks are extremely good. I've been playing Hudson Card since high school, so I've seen a little bit more to him than most people have. But yeah, he's obviously talented. Casey Thompson is talented. Throws very accurately, and they're both athletic and can move. Troy, Amir. There's just so much talent that I can't even fathom to just extremely pick one guy. Just watching them kind of develop, and turn it to something that's going to be pretty special for me.
So, we talked about all those guys.
Yeah.
New thing just got released, NIL.
Yeah.
Did that have any sway for you to announce to be drafted? I honestly think you've been definitely top 3 revenue receiver.
Some bags would have been collected.
Yeah, I definitely think it.
Imagine those shirts.
Yeah, it would have been cool.
DKR shirts.
Yeah,
we could sell Wolf of DKR merch, all sorts of.
It would have been. Honestly, didn't know when that role was going to kick into play, but besides all that, playing this game is more than kind of just, monetize. Not to say that's not why I don't do what I do, because obviously, it's obviously a key part of it. It can change families and lives and stuff like that.
Sure.
It's nice.
I just it's nice, right? But my decision just came from the fact that I just felt like I was just ready to move on, and ultimately my goal was to play in the NFL, kind of do that, and I felt like at least by the time in Texas, it was just nothing best, you know, for me to stay pretty much, is put it in terms like that. But really nothing else. But I'm glad that the NIL's in place, because now you're gonna see dudes that like bring a lot of attention to the school of like UT, like Bijan is doing, and just all those guys are doing that they get some type of compensation for. So, and rightfully so. So. I'm really excited for them, and I'm glad that this rule is.
I'm excited for them too, because people like even like Coburn, who has an amazing personality, he says something funny every time you put a microphone in front of his face. He's like legitimately funny person, and the guys getting to share their personality, right?
Exactly.
And
I think,
like you said, share their story, and that is so impactful.
I think so. Yeah.
You know, and for you, like. When I made my video about the draft and you and Cosme and you know, guys, you know, at the time I was like, I don't agree with him leaving, but I respect it.
Yeah.
Because you're making that decision as a man.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you consult people in your life where they, you know, they may disagree or agree with you, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I felt like, I'm like, he's comfortable in his decision.
Yeah.
He's going to go forward and he's going to make a name for himself, regardless of whether Steve at Fanatic Perspective thinks or Joe Blow on the message board. And so I respect you brothers for doing that.
Yeah.
Playing football on social media, you know, because NIL is going to be great. Guys getting to brand themselves on social media and reach out and connect more. But the backlash aspect, right? You know, you were such a big leader. You were on leadership council off the field. And then last year, I mean, let's be real. When you guys were kind of going through that process of, all right, we want to do something especially after the George Floyd situation and just everything, and you guys decided to march on the Capitol, and you were one of the leaders and leading your guys, and guys I'm sure in the locker room that didn't know how to express themselves at that time. What was going on in that part of, you know, the world, and then the backlash that came of it?
Yeah, so I knew that, like, I'm pretty like firm on like what I believe in, or in terms of anything, right? But it was more so like, again, like you said, having my teammates, or not even, it wasn't just my teammates, it was other athletes, and then it was people on campus, like, what is something that I can do for you, knowing that I have something like a voice that can maybe help that get across, and just taking all that, right, and sharing that. So I felt honored kind of to do that, and because they felt comfortable with doing that, right? So it was definitely hard though, because you're getting a lot of different opinions, right, and a lot of people and how they feel, and which is totally okay. But again, trying to bridge the gap, right? So they're trying to get them to see one another's side, right, and maybe kind of put me in a bind and made it seem like I was like a you know.
You were vilified.
Yeah, like a cancer or a. You know, or something like that, which if it looked like that wasn't the goal. But, you know, I've been pretty confident in what I was trying to get accomplished, you know, and that was more so impactful, meaningful things on campus, as well as around this community, and bringing.
Well, I want you to know, while there were people out there and you had some of the stupid emails about y'all never getting a job and the state of Texas, all that BS, there were people like, you know, brothers like Tran and I that were behind you.
Yeah.
Right?
It's courageous, man. Tell you the truth, especially with, like, you're a 21-year-old young man who's about to go into the NFL, and, you know, NFL is not your job for the rest of your life. And if you're trying to, and someone's threatening that's not, and you stuck to your guns, you know. So, you know, and I can only thank someone who wants to do whatever they can to have quality.
Exactly. Yeah, and really the whole outcome, or the whole goal is just everybody just to be comfortable with themselves, man.
Absolutely.
That's all I want. Regardless of what your opinion is, what your stance on anything, I could still have a, you know, eye-changing or eye-opening conversation with this person, you know. And that's what I did. There was a lot of people there at that time of moment. So I was okay, like, you know, I'm still okay. Like, the backlash is the backlash. Not focused on it, you know. I would say it was stressful, right? You know, because also the season wasn't going away as it should have, or it could have been a lot better. And dealing with everything else, like you said, it's COVID and just everything so strict and everything like that, right? And you know, it was all good. You know, that's what I have family for, and my mom for it, so she get me grounded and stuff.
She's a blessing. She's actually here with us. Brandy, thank you for joining us, and it's been great just to get to know you, right, and to see that. It's been a tough time. I mean, your teammate Kobe Boyce, like that was one of the guys who, he said he came out and was like, I want to take care of my mental health.
Yeah.
And football, I don't need football in my life right now. And that took strength, right, and courage to say, I'm okay by admitting I'm not okay, or I need help, or I need to take this time to do that.
Mental part is key, man, and I feel like it's growing more. A lot of more people are starting to be aware, but it's still something that people undermine and don't really understand. Especially like you're playing a sport as an athlete, there's a lot of pressure that comes with it, which you sign up for. It's nothing wrong, but I single-handedly understand or been seeing people impacted by mental health and understanding that. So I always will take that serious. So and bring more awareness to that. But yeah, like I was strong with him for sure. Like. And just talking to him, and he's a good person, good kid. Or not kid, but good dude. But
hey, he's a
I can't say good.
Sorry, my bad. My bad.
Yeah, good dude. My bad, Kobe.
Well, when at some point we'll have to connect with you again, during the season, just to see how you're doing, check in with you in Denver as you get you're going to a really cool city.
Yeah.
Really, really cool city. But as you had some downtime here. We're about to enjoy Mama's cooking later today.
Yeah.
Last night we were watching the finals, brother.
Yeah.
And I don't know when people are going to see this video, but Game 5 just wrapped up last night. It was an unbelievable game. Your thoughts just on, because, you're a big sports fan outside of everything else, and how the finals are going, man.
Yeah, I think it's obviously been very entertaining, watching it. Personally, I am rooting for the Suns because, one, I just like their team, but I also like Giannis. So I'm in the bond, but also more so Suns because that's where I did my combine training at.
Oh.
Arizona, man. That's second to none. I really love it out there.
You love Arizona? Okay. I'm headed up there for a bachelor party.
Athletes performance?
First week of August.
Exo. Then I trained at PEP after I got done with the pro day. So, but yeah, it's really entertaining, and everybody's honestly stepping up the level of play, like Drew Holiday, Bob, Devin Booker. It's just a lot of back and forth. So I really feel like it's going to go into a Game 7 for sure. But last night, how it ended was pretty crazy. But
Holiday, that sequence,
clutch.
I didn't get it live.
Tran didn't get it live.
Yeah.
So Tran has a new puppy, for everybody that knows. His name's Chip. And Chip had to go to the bathroom. So my wife and I are sitting in the living room, and we watch the Drew Holiday sequence that rips from Booker, goes to Alley to Giannis, and one game, pretty much game over. And I'm like, Trey, you might want to rewind it when he comes back in. Speaking of puppies, you've got one, or probably a bigger, much bigger 4. situation.
Yeah,
he's 4.
Yeah.
You want to talk about him? Is he heading to Colorado with you? Or
yeah, for sure. So he finally will live with me for good.
Have some companionship.
Yeah, companionship more so than anything. So yeah, he'll definitely will be up there, and it's more his vibe too. He's a very nature type dog. He likes being out in the open and stuff. He's clumsy. He's a little.
What's his name?
Goof. His name is Ryder.
Ryder.
Yeah.
Ryder goes to Colorado. Ryder goes west.
Ryder goes. Yeah. Ryder comes with me, so it'll be the first time. I mean, he's kind of been up and forth with Austin and stuff like that. But
sure.
Majority he'll stay with grandma. That's such you can call it that.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm really excited to get him up there and take him out. Hopefully we won't come across no bears or anything like that, but
that just gave me anxiety when you said that.
Nah, they don't really be out there. At least I haven't seen them like that yet, but when I do, I'm straight inside.
Run. That 4.4 speed.
That 4.4 speed. Bro, you tore it up at your pro day, by the way.
I appreciate that.
Put up some numbers.
Yeah.
I'll 40?
I wish there was a combine so everybody was like, it's not official, I was like, I ran the exact same time I did with laser when we trained that I did kind of, which is shocking to me in my pro day. So other than that, it was actually fun though. I really enjoyed it. I had a scare though before because he had COVID, so he had to get tested an hour before COVID. So I came back positive.
False positive.
Yeah, so I was late to the workout. Kind of, I was just sitting over there like in the corner. I had to take another test, then I had to go to the stadium and take like an actual, I think it was like a 45-minute test or something like that. So I'm over there like stressing, like, I'm not gonna be able to run today. I'm like, man. So then boom, they were already like benching. I had to go in there. Wasn't even warming up. I just went in there. Went in there. But yeah, we had a scare, but it was still a good day for sure.
It was a very good day.
Very good day.
Very good day. Last thing I wanted to get out of you. How excited should we be for Steve Sarkisian and this coaching staff as Texas fans?
I think really excited. You know, already the pedigree, what he did at Bama and the offense that he brought there, and utilizing that talent, you know, and then just the feedback, you know, just coming back and talking to them. And also when I talked to them at my pro day or just getting the vibe, man, good people, strength staff, just the coaching staff in general. You know, Blake Gideon, he played here, so he already knows the aspect as a player. So I'm really excited. I'm excited for the players. You know, they seem to really be enjoying this new coaching staff and working hard every day. You know, I hang out with Josh Thompson a lot. He'll come back like, man, they're killing us up there, man. So, they are working. I promise you, they are working for sure. So I'm really excited to watch them.
That's what we want to hear, brother.
Yeah.
Man, thank you for coming on with us.
I appreciate both of you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Guys, make sure you follow Caden on all the socials. Does your dog have a social?
He does. It's like Riders of Ambition or something like that. It's in my bio, though. Yeah.
Okay.
I need to post more on it, but I ain't.
Yeah. So you can follow Caden, his journey, the whole bit. Help us, you know, support the channel by subscribing. If we're at 10K at the point of this, thank you. If not, jump on, help us get there. Matthew, thank you for producing. Eisenhower's, we're here. Please come check out and support their business. You know, especially everybody bouncing back.
Don't flush
post-COVID.
your cell phones down the toilet.
Please don't flush your cell phones down the toilet.
Don't do that.
Those of you who come out to rain, you know what we're referring to. But anyway, guys, remember, horns always up. Appreciate it.
Hey man, thanks.
Appreciate y'all. This was
Dude,
fun.
this was fun. This was fun, brother.
I know, really fun. Great time to spend how I spent my Sunday, man. Nice chill.
Hopefully you got, you know, what you were looking for.
That's all I wanted, man.